Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is Just Pretend, out this week from Little Brown and Company. It's a really cute graphic novel about a young girl who's trying to manage and navigate through her life. So it's by Tori Sharp, and the main character is named Tori because this is based on Tori Sharp's life. And it's a pretty solid graphic novel. I mean, the story is about Tori as she has to deal with navigating friendships and school and going from middle school to high school and what that brings with it, but also her parents who have divorced and her navigating that as well. And it's not, we'll say the healthiest of divorce. She has two older siblings who, she gets along with in various different ways, but it's a really interesting graphic novel just about the difficulties of growing up. And, I think it's a solid read as a graphic memoir. It feels really honest. I think it's pretty interesting to go through Tori's life and what she's willing to put out there. I think also the thing that's really interesting is that, and afterwards she says, this is about her life. She remembers, this is how she remembers a lot of things. Other people might remember things a little bit differently as far as details. And there's only like a few things that she fudged just for the narrative. Nothing that's like actually major. So it's a pretty solid graphic novel. And the thing I think is really interesting in it is that you have Tori Sharp, who's this, author and artist, and then Tori within is also a creator. There's kind of a story within a story as Tori attempts to make some order in her life through telling a book of her own or creating her own book. So I think it'd be fascinating to know if Tori, the real Tori, actually did that book growing up. I think that's a really kind of an interesting thing because it's a pretty cute, fun story. I actually think it would be a fun graphic novel to just see the Tori in the stories graphic novel out and expanded into a real thing. It's a solid read for kids whose parents maybe are divorced or having trouble balancing friends and nervous about school and home life, stuff like that. Like there's a lot I think a lot of kids will latch onto and get. I mean, to me, this seems to be about tween would be my guess. Like 10 to 12-ish would be probably the ideal age for this, but I'm not very good at that part, so I have really no idea. The art is pretty solid. It's consistent. There's a cool aspect to it. I like the fantasy worlds. This is kind of the fantasy world that Tori has come up with. And it's a nice break from the real world, and there's some really expressive, fun art when it comes to that. I think it really does a solid job. There's actually some cool back matter to it. Not only do you have a little bit the real Tori talking about doing this memoir, graphic memoir, but there's some stuff like character designs and page process, which I always think is really cool. Some stuff with materials and acknowledgments. So to me, it's a really, really solid read. Good for kids. Good for, I said that 10 to 12-ish seems to be about the right age. And for kids who might be struggling, might be worried, might be need something to kind of pick them up or something to relate to of being like you are not alone. I think this is a really good read when it comes to that. So out this week, you can go get it. You should be able to get this now in bookstores. And I think you can get it through comic shops. Not 100% sure, but try your comic shops as well. We got a link beneath this video. Put in your zip code. Tell the shops near you. No shop, no problem. We have some links as well. There'll be affiliate links, so we get a small percentage. By doing that, you help support our site, so thank you. Speaking of support, Little Brown and Company has hooked us up with this review copy. Thank you for that, and thank you for watching. Now, if you're into comics, if you're into graphic novels, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games. you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.